Gravel crunched under Goku's sandals as he stepped into the Demon Slayer Corps courtyard, and immediately felt every sword in the place turn into a stare. A ring of Hashira surrounded a boy with tired eyes, and a wooden box on his back. The boy stood straight anyway, like pain didn't get a vote. The box smelled like wisteria, and restraint and something hungry that had chosen not to be. Goku tilted his head. So, this is the meeting? Sanemi Shinozaga's gaze snapped to him like a thrown blade. What is he doing here? Goku raised a hand in a small wave. Friendly and utterly unhelpful. Hi. The air tightened. Even the trees seemed to listen. The master arrived, soft voice, gentle presence, and the courtyard held its breath. But Sanemi didn't. He sliced his own arm, and shoved the bleeding wrist toward the open box. The girl inside, Nezuko, trembled. Her eyes sharpened. Her jaw tightened around the bamboo. Goku moved without thinking, catching Sanemi's wrist with a grip that felt like stone wrapped in kindness. Don't provoke her. Sanemi jerked, couldn't pull free, and fury flared bright and ugly in his eyes. Don't touch me. Goku blinked, honest confusion on his face. Then stop doing that. Nezuko turned her face away from the blood. A sound like relief broke out of the circle. Mitsuri Kanroji's soft gasp, too tender to hide. Shinobu Kocho smiled politely, the way a blade might smile if it learned manners. How interesting, Shinobu murmured, eyes on Goku's hand, measuring. You stop him so gently. Goku let Sanemi go when the master spoke. The moment the wrist left his palm, he felt it. A faint brush against his instincts. Cold, elegant, like perfume on a thread. Someone was watching. Not here, but near. Goku's smile faded just a notch. That night, at the butterfly estate, he sat on the enga, and stared into a garden that smelled too calm to be real. Shinobu appeared beside him like a thought you didn't notice you'd had. You're restless, she said sweetly. Goku scratched his cheek. Kinda. You keep looking for something to hit. He grinned sheepish. I'm not gonna hit the garden. Shinobu's smile didn't change. I didn't say you would. I said you want to. Before he could answer, Mitsuri arrived with tea, and snacks, and a warmth so bright it felt like a lantern in a room full of knives. She offered Goku a sweet packet with both hands, cheeks pink. For you. Shinobu's gaze flicked, precise. Unreadable. Kanroji-san is very eager. Mitsuri flustered instantly. He looked stressed. Goku, trapped between sunshine and poison, took the sweet packet like it was a peace treaty. Thanks. Oh, tea's great too. Shinobu handed him medicine tea anyway. Goku sipped. His face pinched. Is this tree bark? Shinobu beamed. Close. Mitsuri giggled. Do you want honey? Shinobu's smile sharpened. He'll survive. Goku swallowed, watering-eyed. I'm survivin', he croaked. And for half a second Shinobu's eyes crinkled with real amusement before she locked it away again. Then the night itself knocked. A crow perched beyond the wisteria line, eyes too red, feathers too glossy. It opened its beak, and a woman's voice spilled out like silk. Son of the sun, Femme Musin purred. Come to me. The garden went cold. Goku stood, muscles tightening under restraint. Tanjiro stumbled out of the estate, half awake, hand on his sword, eyes wide with fear that wasn't for himself. Goku stared at the crow. Don't talk about them. The crow laughed softly. Whoa, you've grown attached. Goku flicked a pebble. The crow burst into black feathers and smoke, gone like a lie. But the scent stayed, faint and pleased. Musin knew where they were, and she wasn't in a hurry. The next mission came fast, Mugen train, and Goku boarded with Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, while steam hissed like a warning. Rengoku Kyojuro greeted them like the sun had learned to speak. Inside the train, the air tasted sweet. Wrong. Sleep crawled up Tanjiro's spine like hands. Goku clenched his fist around a wisteria charm Shinobu had pressed into his palm before they left. Don't be foolish, she'd said, smiling like a promise and a threat. Tanjiro dropped into a dream, and came back up screaming, hand burned, catching a puppet's knife inches from his throat. Humans moved like marionettes. Enmu's plan was cruel and efficient. Zenitsu woke up screaming so loudly Goku flinched. "YAM, I awake. I was having a nice dream about not dying." Inosuke, somehow proud, shouted, "My mask has 2 layers. Sleep can't get through that." Zenitsu shrieked, "That's not science." Goku didn't argue. He just started tying up puppets with torn cloth like he'd done this before, which, in his mind, he probably had. The train turned into demon flesh, eyes blinking in walls, mouths forming where mouths shouldn't be. Rengoku shouted orders. Tanjiro sprinted for the engine. Goku stayed behind, palms out, pressing invisible weight against writhing tendrils so passengers could run without being torn apart. His control was terrifying. Power packed into gentleness so tight it felt like holding back an ocean with a cup. When Tanjiro severed Enmu's neck thread through the train, victory didn't stop momentum. The train crashed anyway, metal screaming. And then the forest opened. Akaza stepped out of the shadows like a smile sharpened into a person. His gaze landed on Rengoku with delighted respect. Become a demon, Akaza offered warmly. Fight forever. Rengoku refused with sunlight in his eyes. Akaza's gaze slid to Goku, and lit up. Oh, Akaza breathed. So that's you? Goku felt Musen's attention brush his skin like a possessive hand. Bring him, it seemed to whisper through the air itself. Akaza lunged, not at Rengoku, but toward a cluster of wounded humans. A mother clutched her child. Their scream caught in the throat. Goku stepped between them and the strike. Akaza's palm hit Goku's chest. The ground cracked. Goku slid back half a step, grimacing. That was close. Akaza stared at him like he'd been gifted his favorite weapon. You're careful, he murmured, delighted. You won't explode, because you'd kill them. Rengoku fought like flame made flesh, buying time with blood. When Akaza's arm punched through him, Rengoku held on anyway, teeth bared, refusing to let the demon retreat before dawn. Run! Rengoku roared. Live! Goku's fists clenched. He took one step forward. A child stumbled into the edge of the fight. Goku turned instantly, catching the child gently, moving them away. By the time he looked back, Akaza had torn free, furious at sunrise, and Rengoku's body was folding toward the earth. Tanjiro caught him. Zenitsu cried like the world had broken. Inosuke trembled behind his mask, silent rage shaking him. Rengoku looked at Goku with fading warmth, and said, You are kind. Goku's throat tightened. He couldn't save the strongest man he'd met in this world without killing the weak around him. Musen's satisfaction was a cold perfume on the dawn. Back at the estate, grief didn't have time to settle before the night tore again. A biwa note opened a doorway at the wisteria line like a mouth. Nakaim stood outside, calm as a spider, and called softly, Sunman. Goku stepped out. Shinobu's hand went to her blade. Mitsuri arrived breathless, eyes shining with fear, and something else she didn't know how to hide. Send them back, Goku said. Nakaim plucked the strings. The doorway surged, hungry. It tried to take him. Shinobu grabbed his sleeve. Mitsuri grabbed his arm. Goku's eyes widened. Let go. Neither did. The pull yanked harder, enough to drag them all, and the world snapped. Infinity Castle swallowed all three. Inside, gravity forgot manners. Rooms folded like paper. Lanterns floated like trapped stars. Nakaim watched from far corridors with her biwa, rearranging the world like it was a toy. Musen waited in an elegant room, red eyes half lidded in possession. You brought company, she purred. Shinobu lunged with poison precision. Musen struck her away like swatting a moth. Shinobu skidded, coughing blood, smile still sharp through pain. Mitsuri's blade danced, ribbon fast, furious. Don't touch him. Musen smiled at her. You cling. How charming. Goku stood between them, pressure building behind his ribs like a storm being told to sit. He felt the captives in the castle, faint lights behind walls, and knew if he let loose, the shockwaves would turn them into mist. Musen leaned close, perfume threading into his breath. You could break this castle, she whispered. Do it. Goku's eyes narrowed. No. Musen's smile deepened. Because you choose them. Because you hide behind them, Goku corrected, voice low. Musen's hand rose, offering her blood like a gift. Drink. Become mine. Protect them forever. Goku grimaced. No thanks. I'm taken. Musen's eyes sharpened. By who? Chi-Chi, he said, then added. Because he couldn't help it. And she's scarier than you. For a heartbeat, Musen looked offended. Then she laughed, cold and delighted. How inconvenient. Goku snapped his fingers. A seam of light tore open, thin as a blade, showing the wisteria garden outside for one heartbeat. Shinobu and Mitsuri gasped like drowning people seeing air. Go, Goku said. Shinobu's eyes burned. If you die, I won't, he promised, and his voice softened despite the nightmare. Don't be foolish. Mitsuri's hands trembled as she backed toward the light. Promise again. Goku swallowed. I promise. Musen lunged, furious. Goku stepped in front, blocking, restraining everything so tightly the lantern flame barely shook. Shinobu dragged Mitsuri through the tear. The seam began to close. Musen's fingers brushed Goku's cheek. Intimate as theft. Her whisper slid into his ear like ice. Good. Now you're mine to break. The tear shut. Goku stood alone in endless rooms, while the castle rearranged itself like a predator licking its teeth. Somewhere beyond walls, captives flickered like tiny lights. Goku touched the wisteria thread looped around his knuckles, an anchor that smelled like sharp smiles and stubborn survival, and the sweet packet at his belt that still carried warmth like a promise. He exhaled slowly. "All right," he murmured, mouth twitching. "No pressure." Muzin's laugh echoed through infinity, elegant, possessive, pleased. "Whoa," she purred. "There is pressure." Goku turned toward the darkness anyway, eyes bright as a sun refusing to set, and started walking. Not to escape alone, but to find every light he could carry out. Because outside, under wisteria and moonlight, 2 women were breathing again, angry, alive, and a boy with a wooden box was gathering blades. And the next time Muzin whispered choose, Goku intended to answer with something she couldn't control. A rescue.